give you small background.
Okay.
So, and you also write many papers. I throughout the book I read, and then
You read Thai also?
no, an English one.
Oh,
The True Nation. You have a collection of the
Yes.
yearly publication.
Yes.
So that one, and you wrote some in 2006-7 the higher education also somewhere policy. I think you were also involved in the policy making. So then also I read also from the Nation newspaper also, and I did my PhD doing in 2007 in the NIDA. Since then I was looking for the policies, and checking on higher education updating. Then in 2009 the government has the former government has come up with the 4 sector of universities, research universities, and other. I want to see how this knowledge society will build up, because if you have a good education and knowledge society will live on the knowledge to the
Sure.
society. Then I want to see the university contribution toward the knowledge society. Then when I focus down, my advisor said that you focus down on research universities. That government has mentioned the 9 research universities. So I want to see this how this contribution of Thai Research University towards Thailand becoming a knowledge society. So in this, I'm applying a mixed method, qualitative method, and quantitative method. And qualitative method, I'm going to interview the policymakers and also the decision makers. So for your email, I cannot find it, and I keep searching on the Google.
And you
And
found?
you find it. Then I'm very happy that you give me within 2 weeks. You give me the date. I'm very happy. Like some it's taking time, but I'm very happy that you are with the first question.
Sure.
First of all, I would like to know your understanding of knowledge society. What does how do you define knowledge society actually?
Okay. I think knowledge-based society means a society which has gone through a knowledge revolution. Basically, paradigm change in a society only happen after you go through a revolution, which you have seen that in my book, in Thai, Siam Arya Manifesto. The Siam Arya Manifesto outlines 7 waves of change in any society, and I believe in my own terminology that we are in wave 3 at the moment, which is an information society. And each wave from in that book, from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, they all go through some revolution. For example, I say that you have an agricultural revolution to move from a nomadic society to an agricultural society. Wave number, and you have an industrial revolution to move from the agricultural society to industrial society. Then you have information revolution. The move you from wave 2 to 3, that is moving you from industrial society to information society. I define the next wave knowledge-based society, which will only happen after there is a knowledge revolution, which is applied in our society fully. Then can be officially, you can call Thailand a knowledge-based society. That means knowledge revolution was so powerful to change paradigm in every setting of Thai society, driven by knowledge. Driven by knowledge in such a way that it will produce economic change to become knowledge-based economy as one. Then it will produce change in politics to become knowledge-based policy politics. That means politics will be policy driven. And then knowledge-based society will mean that it permeates the entire society that is driven by knowledge. Therefore, in my opinion, a true knowledge-based Thailand will only happen when there is a knowledge revolution, which I define as a complete radical outlook change that has set in system, structure, institution, values that would allow changes to happen fully. Without such, a society may be influenced by knowledge, but not a true knowledge-based society. Thailand has been influenced by knowledge for years, for 100 years. But that is not a knowledge-based society. Influence is different from driven. Driven, the whole society is permeated by knowledge in such a way that the entire society, which I mentioned, the system, the structure, the institution, the values are driven by knowledge fully. So that is my ideas that explain more fully in many of my books. One of them is this Siam Arya Manifesto in Thai, which came out last year. And before that, there's a lot more articles that written that give ideas along these lines. So this is how I feel what a knowledge-based society is.
And so, second question, sir. What is the...
What will be the focus of the government towards research university? What should be? I would say because university is an institution that create knowledge, accumulate knowledge, extend knowledge, and disseminate knowledge. And therefore, is an institution that is very important in changing society. It's not only a symbol, but it's also the vehicle to allow change to happen. And since university focus on knowledge, therefore it's a major vehicle at the top level that could dissipate the knowledge base society down, all the way down to the entire society. In fact, I have made this statement for 20, 30 years that whatever happened in university will happen in the society down the road eventually. So I do believe that trickle-down model, I use it called trickle-down model for the university as you trickle down from university to society. Hence, in my opinion, university has an important role. But what kind of university that will do that? It has to be a research university. Because teaching university alone can do somewhat, can do a little, it has some effect. But a full effect comes when a university is not only teaching, but research in seriousness. Therefore, research university produce knowledge through research relevant to the context of our Thai society. It's important. Borrow knowledge and transfer knowledge is not enough for any society to thrive. It has to be produced within its own context to solve its own problem. Therefore, who else could do that apart from a professional researcher situated in the research university itself? Therefore, research universities should be given opportunity to be a key player, to be the impetus, to be the driving forces to allow knowledge-based society to be generated down the road. That would mean the government should practically encourage and stimulate research university in Thailand to be powerful vehicles in generating and creating knowledge. that has relevant and practical ramification in every spheres, including commercial spheres, and so on. Therefore, if the government do not focus and put enough attention on research university and pay only lip service, the society cannot be driven that way, because the main institution to do so is the university as a key driving force, which will produce elites of the next generation and also inculcate values in the students and the researchers, the younger researcher. And also the university itself has structurally been put in society that intertwined, interrelated with other institutions and social structure until it produced a system integrated as a whole system in Thailand. I therefore believe that when you drive the university forward, it affects the knowledge-based society eventually. That will be the key pivotal institution that the government should focus upon.
And specific focus, like what other specific
Focus?
Specific focus.
I would say you have to stimulate creative, innovative research by stimulate with smart funding
How
that
do you-
would help
How do you find
to
different?
make. Once smart funding is being put in, it will create productive research, not wasteful, and not research that are put in the shelves that are useless in application, or research that is cover the old ground that has never produced new novel findings. Therefore, your government has to be, that's why use smart funding that would stimulate that. The government can also allow interfacing of the research university with other sectors in a seamless way. For example, with the industry, with the civil society, that would allow production of research to be practically used, and encourage that by incentivizing the people who are doing so, universities that are doing so that they would move along the line of allowing their research to be powerfully impacting the non-university sectors. That is smartness, if the government know how to do, by using instruments that stimulate university to move along that line. Then you see drastic change in university research output that would produce a lot of real change that you would like to see. So government can play that role if they're smart.
I'm learning a lot together with you.
I'm glad.
Because I was waiting also, because I met many little bit, when you speak, it's here. So the words that you're using is very, very powerful. The peoples I met, that is I feel like very general. Okay, continue. sir.
So the third question,
Yes, sir.
you asked me, do you think the university leaders have a clear vision by the university contribution to knowledge-based society? And what is that vision? I don't think university leaders on a whole, in 170 universities in Thailand have that clear vision. They just lead the university into the business as usual and roll out graduates and research production without clear targeted direction. They maintain the system they allow the functioning university to go on with no clarity of the outcome you want to measure in your university. Possibly because they are managers rather than leaders. This is why there is a distinction between manager and leaders in university. Once you have manager managing the system administratively, they manage it so that everything functions okay, but there is no real powerful punch in affecting the university. That requires leadership. And I think on average, I'm not saying everyone is like that. I say on average, this is what I observe. And therefore, they do not see clearly the future in a strategic way. What can they do as leaders of university that can impact the change in the society? And they do not design the process in their university to produce outcome. If I may put it in a blunt way, they produce output, they don't produce outcome. The output is clear. You have fixed number of students produced, number of research pieces published. You have a lot of output, but the outcome is very different from output sometimes. It's not there on average. To be fair, I'm not saying that they did do nothing, but on average, it seems.
So 1 to 5 scale you give them?
2.5. Maybe. The fourth question, in your opinion, what are the main factors that contribute university towards the country to become knowledge?
Yes.
So,
What is the main factor? Because
main factors?
yeah, that is very important for my research.
Yes, I would say factor number one would be research outcome that can be usable in a practical way in other sectors. 2, I would say students who are well taught and able to join the employment, the working labor market that are suitable with the current time. Students that are well produced. 3rd, I would say the teachers that are not ivory tower, but they must go out to relate, interface with the society in other sectors. Therefore, they must be allowed to go out to interface. Now they sit inside the university, and the real relationship is not there. It's one-way street sometimes. You may have some training program that people come and listen, but it's not a two-way street where there is the interfacing, and this is critical factors that could happen. Next would be the researcher that you produce that have capability to find out new knowledge. Now we produce a lot of graduate students with a lot of degrees, masters and PhDs, which the quality of researching are in trouble. They are writing big essays with not clear ability to do research, especially to find new knowledge and innovation. In university could produce a researcher that could have the understanding of how to have the right methodology framework to combat the solution of finding new knowledge. That would be a very key, powerful solution. And I suppose the university must be willing to contribute its expertise in whatever needed in the society. They must see themselves not separate from the society. It has to be that they, from their strength, whatever they can contribute, they must be willing to walk the next extra mile so that the society can be contributive. Now the key performance index to measure the university professors and the university itself have no real measurement to produce outcome of linking with the society. And I think because of this, therefore, the focus wasn't there. The factors of contribution is not there. Usually, your university are being looked upon, for example, how many students you produce, student-teachers ratio, publications, all these have no linkage in direct way with the society. And hence, therefore, you can't contribute to a knowledge-based society without some linking.
What about the technology, do you think?
Yes, technology is part of the finding, right? You can find technology, you can find social science and technology, as well as social science, and so you have both sides. But all these are part of the research. If you create innovative technology that is relevant to the society, then it can be used, it can be applied, it can be industrialized, it become commercialized. Think of all this kind, then it's natural bridge into products, and hence university become relevant. But now the whole loop of how it works never seemed to be there. The fifth question: what is your saying about the role of Thai research in building nation towards KBS? So far, I feel that Thai research has some help towards building the nation in knowledge-based society, because every research producing some knowledge have some indirect contribution, but it has not been significant. It has not been the major driving force. It has some but not significant. It has scattered impact rather than focused impact. It has spontaneous impact rather than clear targeted impact. It's not strategic impact. It's more incidental impact rather than strategic impact. So if I may use in those words, I feel that our research in Thailand is still not powerful enough. If we continue like this, it will be a long time before we'll be able to be truly called a knowledge-based society.
So you have answered me a lot, and I'm also the words you're saying is very powerful for me, and also if time permit, I'll definitely
Sure.
come back to you.
Sure.
So thank you very
I
much.
wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe two things you
Yes.
could do. One is that you can send me a tape of this,
Yes, definitely.
so
Yes.
I can get my student to listen. I don't have to say
Yes.
it's the same thing,
Yes, definitely.
because it's a unique questioning.
Yes, yes.
You can send me a